Hey everyone, I'm Sahil Mittal here for the NBA G League Tracker, and I'd like to welcome you to the eighth episode of G League Conversations, and our first episode of 2021.
Man, we see that's the way. Through the ice in this platinum, I did a 180, I went up the wrong way. Look at the bells and the twinkling, glisten and shine, you gon' need you some sunblock.
Today's guest is Walt Lemon Jr., who's a G League veteran and has also played in 11 NBA games for the Chicago Bulls and the New Orleans Pelicans. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me, bro. Appreciate it.
So first, I kind of want to go back to more of the beginning of your career. Up through the 2017-18 season, you spent a lot of your career moving back and forth between different overseas teams and the Fort Wayne Mad Ants in the G League. What were some of the biggest differences for you on and off the court between the G League and overseas?
Uh, I would say the difference off the court, is being in a whole other country by yourself, away from family, away from friends, stuff that you're used to in the States back at home. I think that's the main thing for me off the court. I mean, nobody speaks English half the time, so that was definitely a challenge. And it was also another challenge where, you had this big gap where your family is asleep while you up. So you got like a big gap by yourself over there. But other than that, I mean, as far as basketball goes, it's pretty much different. They play more physical overseas and they let you, that you have to play a certain way overseas as far as the travel call or the goaltending and stuff like that. It's definitely a different style of basketball.
So you were recently in Israel, and you've also played in Hungary, Turkey, Germany, and Greece. Do you have a favorite place you've played overseas?
Oh, yeah, man. My favorite place is Greece, bro. It was more, they spoke English. I felt welcome to the country. The team, everybody on the team got along great. I got along great with the locals that was from Greece. Staff, coaching staff, just the community. They accepted me. It was a good experience, man. Compared to all my other experiences overseas, for sure.
Then moving on to the 2017-18 season, you started the year off with Fort Wayne, and eventually you got your first NBA experience by signing two 10-day contracts with the New Orleans Pelicans.
Right.
What were you able to learn and take away from that first NBA opportunity?
Uh, Main thing I learned is dealing with stuff that's out of your control. Um, I say that because a lot of people think, because everyone's talented, in G League, NBA, vice versa, everyone's talented. So it's not a point where people can't play. I think the thing that most guys have a hard time dealing with, which I had to learn, was dealing with stuff that was out of my control. Whether it's playing time or if I'm gonna get in, or you know what I mean. It was just little stuff like that. Just understanding this certain stuff is out of your control. And I think the other thing I learned, it helped me a lot being around guys like Rondo, Jrue Holiday. They showed me it was a different pace to play a basketball, because prior to that, I was one speed, just getting downhill, didn't know how to, quote unquote, be a point guard to get others involved as much. And, just how Rondo, for example, just how he's a leader. I think that was my biggest thing that I took from him. And, Drew Holiday, same thing. How he carried himself and how he played his own pace. And I think that was the main thing that I took from those two guys. And it helped me become a better player in where I am now. So
I know you just talked about Rajon Rondo and how he was one of the guys you learned from. I know he gets sometimes a bad rep among basketball fans. How was he as a leader for the entire team?
Rondo is a good guy, bro. Like you just said, he get a bad rep. I'm the same way. Um, I get a bad rep. You don't know me. If you ask about me, I just get a bad rep based off what people think or their first encounter from me. So we're kind of the same in that aspect where people don't know him and don't understand him, and they just assuming and judging him. So I definitely understand that what he goes through with people giving him a bad rep when that's not really how he is, because I'm treated the same way. So, but as far as a leader, man, it's like second to none. Honestly, I think just his presence alone, just his vocalness, just him, just always engaged on helping everybody. And it's like he is like it's kind of hard to explain, bro. Like he's actually a coach on the floor. So when you got a guy that's demanding everyone's attention like he does, and Rondo's not the best player in the world, but just how he carry himself, you have no choice but to listen to him. You know what I mean? And it's like he knows what he's doing. So he's a great leader. It don't matter what team he's on, he's gonna make guys better, bro.
So then moving on to the next season, the 2018-19 season, you used that NBA opportunity and were able to sign a two-way contract with the Boston Celtics. You played in some games for their G League affiliate before they ended up waiving you early in the season. Was it discouraging for you, like knowing that, hey, I'm a part of an NBA organization and I have the chance to play in NBA games through the two-way deal, um, to being to like having to go back to the G League?
Yeah, of course. Anybody that was in the on a big stage like that, on a big team, and you have to go back down is discouraging. But I think it was most discouraging to me because due to the circumstances that I've got there, it kind of like put a bad rep on my name for anyone else to take a chance on me. So, um, everywhere you go, you're not gonna fit with everybody, and that's life. Like I'm pretty sure you got people that you grew up with that it just didn't work out. Not mean that you both are bad people. It's just that you guys didn't mix. You know what I mean? So I think that was my case when I was there. It was just two different perspectives didn't really mix, and which led for me to be waived and go back to the G League. So at times it was very discouraging, but then again it was like I wanted to prove people wrong because I know that I could play at that level. I know that I'm not what you know most people say I am, and I think me staying and me going to another organization and turning that around in a positive way, like showed that like I'm not a bad guy. You know what I mean? And I'm not like a head case, and I'm someone people could take a chance on.
Well, I mean, I definitely think when you went back down to the G League that year, you definitely were able to prove a lot of people wrong. You joined the Windy City Bulls in December when they were like 5-11 or 5-12, and after joining them, you helped turn them around and push them towards their first playoff appearance. What were you able to bring to that team to push them in that winning direction?
Um, Honestly, man, I think me just me bringing my abilities to that organization was like I didn't turn that around myself. I just came in and helped. You know, I filled the void that guys needed. So I wouldn't say that I've I've changed the whole season around by myself. It was a collective effort from my teammates, coaching staff, and the management. So I think as a collective, it was um it was a turnaround for everybody. Coach Henry was a great coach, man, and for him to be for him to be a G League coach at that time, he definitely know what he's doing. He was a guy I respected. He can get on me, and I didn't take it personal. Like um, he put everybody in a position to succeed. It was better for me because I had a team full of shooters, so it was hard to like help because if you helped, I found my guys and they made shots, which made me look a lot better. So I think it was just a it was just a blessing to be a part of that organization with those pieces and the coach giving me the keys to really do what I do and show I can lead a team. So it was um it was definitely a bright spot for me that year for sure.
Yeah, you guys were definitely like a great team to watch. You guys seem to have a lot of chemistry, a lot of fun out on the floor. Um, After that season, though, you guys made it to the playoffs. You ended up losing, but you ended up signing an NBA contract with the Chicago Bulls,
Right.
your hometown team. Can you talk a little bit about that experience?
Man, bro, like what we just talked about earlier, I was on the NBA team, but not fully on the NBA team, but for me being up there and getting sent down to this time, I'm actually on the team, and then I'm from there too. Like, bro, if don't nobody know me, they know me making it is all I care about. That's all I think about. So the fact that I got that call and said that it was official, it was like I broke down, bro. Like, I'm a man, but I broke down in tears because it was like that's something I always dreamed of. You know what I mean? And to hear them say that and me be from from the place where I'm going to play, it's like it was like it's hard to explain, bro. But it was a feeling of joy that I'll never forget.
Do you have a favorite or most memorable moment from being up with Chicago?
Yeah, I got a couple. My first game. I think I didn't think nobody expected me to play how I did, consider on paper I don't have that much experience, but I think for my very first game, I showed people that I could play at that level and I could stick at that level. Not saying that I could come in and be a starter, but I could come in and help a team. And I think my most memorable moment was against the Wizards when I played well and I won us the game. So regardless of anything, can't nobody take that from me. Like I won an NBA game. Like so, most people I know can't even say that. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, I know you played pretty well over that stretch. I think it was 6 games. You were averaging over 14 points. Like you mentioned, you had that. Um, you helped to win the game against the Wizards. You showed a lot at that time that you could be at the NBA level and you can help a team. Now, at this point, what else do you think you need to show NBA teams in order to get back to the league?
at this point, bro, honestly, I don't even know because I think in the past, they wanted me to, they wanted to see certain things, and I've shown that. And at this point, I don't know. Like I don't know what go on in the minds of the people making decisions up there. And all I can say is my main thing I will show them is that I'm a better shooter off the ball because I'm pretty sure that if I do get a chance to go to a team, they're not gonna have the ball in my hands that much. So I'm gonna play spot minutes, which is okay. But regardless of what minutes I get, I'm gonna make them count and on both ends of the floor and show them a consistent shooter. But I think the main thing that what most teams are like got the red light on is that they may like judge my character off the court when I'm really different, different than what people perceive me. So I think for the most part now it's just me just putting in the guy's hands, man, staying ready, and whatever happens, happens. So if I do get an opportunity, I'm a I'm gonna take it full on. If not, I mean, maybe it wasn't for me. You know what I mean? But I do know I will be ready if that opportunity presents itself. So and I will show those things to any team that I'm on. So only time will tell, man.
Even though you didn't end up going back to the NBA this past season, you returned to Fort Wayne. Was it nice for you to go back to an organization, even though it wasn't in the NBA, an organization you had a lot of familiarity with?
Oh yeah, that's big, bro. It's the G League is a really groundhouse like league. It's everybody's trying to make it, so everybody's really looking out to get theirs. And I think the best thing for me was going somewhere where I was familiar, where the people was familiar with me. They understand me off the court, most importantly, because most people that if you didn't know me, like on the court, I compete, I'm competitive. I play with a chip on my shoulder with an edge, but off the court, like I'm quiet. I mean, like I'm a real chill guy off the court. So I think me going back to Fort Wayne was a big deal because they know who I am on and off the court, and they're not going to perceive it a different way. and it was comforting for me to know that, and I could just come in and just play my game. Whether they had two ways at the time where they wanted me to play two or whatever the case may be, I just know it felt good to be around guys that understood me, and I was familiar with the city, familiar with the people there, so it was definitely a big comfort zone for me, and it's crazy because when I got waived from the Celtics, I was going to initially go back to Fort Wayne, but considering that the guys that they had there already that played my position, it was like there was no need for me to go there and leave a situation to come into another situation and make stuff worse for myself. So that's why I didn't return to Fort Wayne the previous year before that. So, but like you said, like I told you, it's going to a team that you're comfortable with, that knows you, knows how you play, and you guys understand each other. Is really a big deal, bro. I was actually lucky to be able to come back to that team.
So the season eventually got canceled. Your stint with Fort Wayne got cut short. Eventually, later in the summer, you ended up going to Israel to play. What was that experience like for you, especially with the coronavirus going around? What was really different about this season?
To be honest with you, bro, it's COVID. Nothing is wasn't nothing different for me when I go overseas because, like I said, I'm not over there with none of my family. So it's I'm in the gym. When I'm not in the gym, I'm back at home. You know what I mean? While I'm relaxing, playing a game, watching movies, working out, and then talking to my family. That's really my mo when I'm overseas. So regardless if it's Corona or not, but I think the biggest thing for me, um, going overseas, I haven't been overseas in 5 years, so I had gotten accustomed to American basketball, American this lifestyle. Period. Of how basketball is here, and then when I go overseas, everything's different. Um, it's more of a overseas is more like a college team setup, and that's something I haven't been used to for 5 years, bro. So it's something I had to get used to again, and there's basically everything how they handle everything overseas, um, which is frustrating at times because I think dealing overseas is it's more added pressure than it need to be. You know what I mean? It's like with everything, and over time that can get stressful, especially if you're over there by yourself and there's no, you're not from there. And, you don't have a way to really let your frustrations out, or what I'm saying, just get away and take a couple of days to recoup and get back right. So over there, being overseas, everything's got to be you got to be mentally strong. I say to play overseas, bro. And that was my biggest thing going over there was just different, culture, the the time difference, just the way they view basketball and the way they go about certain things like practices and stuff like that is something I had to get used to. That was different than what I was used to back at home. But I mean, now I know what it's like. I would if I do got to go back over there, I would know what I'm getting myself into. I wouldn't let you know home like stuff at home distract me from what I'm doing because that does play a part too when you're over there. So I just know if I go over there again, I will know how to handle myself. I know how to like handle everything. So
Speaking of possibly going back overseas, it's been pretty much reported that the G League is going to have a bubble at the end of January and during February and the beginning of March, most likely at the Disney campus that the NBA had their bubble on. Um, do you think that you might be participating in that, or do you think you might go back overseas for your next basketball opportunity?
um, it depends, bro. Like I said, I'm 28, gonna be 29 in July. Even though I feel like I'm 23, I still move like it, but I'm not getting any younger. So I think in order for me to go back to a G League team, if I get the call, of course I would definitely take into consideration. Um, considering on if I have a possibility to get called up to a team or not. But if that's not the case, I'm a father now too. Yeah, I don't have any wiggle room to risk anything, to take any chances. So, like I said, at this point, like I said, I'm a father, man. I'm just trying to take care of my family, and whether if that is here, I get a call, and I got a chance to get called up, because it would be easy for me, because like I'm established in the G League, so it would be, and I know how to play, so I know what I have to do to get called up. So it's just about just opportunity, man. Like if I get an opportunity to go somewhere and show what I can do on the next level, that I would take it. But if not, like I say, at this point, I got to take care of my kids, man. I got to take care of my family. So at this point, I'm just waiting to see what's the best opportunity for me to take care of my family at this point.
Well, whatever you end up choosing for your next basketball opportunity, good luck with that. And we'll look forward to seeing where you play next and what's in your future.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.